Welcome to Mindfulness for the Soul, your daily dose of mental health insights, with your host, John Silamparis.
In the world of mindfulness practice, the concept of extreme acceptance is a sweeping mental attitude that in many ways can act as a universal coping skill. Like mindfulness, it is not a destination or a goal, but instead an ongoing process of opening up our awareness and exercising our mind to be flexible and tolerant of whatever life throws at us. It is the X Games for the mind, because with any drastic change or abrupt shift in the familiar, there is fear, and lots of it. Eckhart Tolle reminds us that acceptance of the unacceptable is the greatest source of grace in this world. In other words, it's helping you develop a new relationship with discomfort. Yes, sounds strange, right? We start this new relationship by committing to expanding our awareness of ourselves. Extreme acceptance replaces the exhausting act of overanalyzing negative thoughts with the awareness that we are simply just experiencing negative thoughts. There's a big difference there. It's the capacity of the mind to step back and observe our discomfort about the negative thoughts as the cause of the distress, not the context of the negative thoughts themselves that cause the distress. This is part of the new relationship. So let's be clear. Extreme acceptance is not the following. It is not indifference, apathy, or blind resignation. It does not involve skirting personal responsibility, and it is certainly not giving up. In addition, it is not saying that whatever misfortunes we suffered in the past were a good thing. And most importantly, it is not saying that we should arbitrarily forgive wrongdoers and absolve them of culpability. Here are some examples of what extreme acceptance is. Following these suggestions regularly will change your outlook immediately. The first one is, we accept negative thoughts as they are without judging them. Whatever thoughts or impulses come our way, we refrain from overanalyzing and possibly judging them. We are patient and allow the natural flow of awareness to be present. Keeping this perspective means letting go of the innate reflex to interpret all of our thoughts and experiences with a critical eye. In addition, holding on to resentments and grudges as a result of our judgments deprives us of gaining insight and growing from the experience. Sustained resentments about things in the past are lazy forms of grieving, because as we all know, it takes a great deal of inner strength to let go of anger and feel the pain. Number 2. We accept others for who they are and for who they are not. Acceptance of other people being different than us seems to be a very difficult task for many human beings. But under the extreme acceptance construct, we not only accept our differences, but more importantly, we are grateful for the genius of diversity in thought, personal values, sexual orientation, religion, race, etc. Extreme acceptance does not assume expectations of others, but instead attempts to adopt a compassionate acknowledgement of others without imposing our own prejudice. Therefore, we strive to view others as well as ourselves as unique human projects in constant transition. We strive to accept that all of us are complex, multi-layered individuals that are highly vulnerable and superbly imperfect. Extreme acceptance is about cultivating tolerance and embracing inquiry. We also learn that we do not have the power to change others. We understand that we can encourage others, influence them, maybe even inspire them, but beyond that, we are powerless. French philosopher René Descartes said, "Conquer yourself rather than your world." Number 3, we accept that all things must end. Nothing is forever. This one's a real hard one for people. So we adhere to the thought that life is merely a series of beginnings and endings, and all good things end, and thankfully, all bad things end too. Remaining overly attached to people, careers, success, and earthly possessions causes us suffering. If we can look at loss or the end of a relationship, for example, as simply another ending in our life that is part of being human, we experience less distress over it because we are not so emotionally committed. And as overly simplistic as it may sound, poet and cartoonist Dr. Seuss suggests, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. In addition, the finite nature of life, the knowledge that even our own lives will end someday too, can in fact be a motivating insight that could give our existence a great deal of meaning. Number 4, we don't ask unanswerable questions. For example, we don't ask why we were born into our particular family, or why we can't be smarter, richer, more beautiful, more creative, etc. If we try to answer these unanswerable questions, all we come up with are interpretations and theories. Sometimes there are no definitive answers, and anxiously ruminating about the why is a waste of time. A more important question might be, why now? Meaning, let us look at what we are doing today that might be adding to the problem. Again, our here and now thinking is the only reality we can count on, and staying in the inquiry of life is always better than assuming foregone conclusions. Number 5, the importance of gratitude. Extreme acceptance cannot exist without the concept of gratitude. Gratitude balances out the outrageousness of what we are asking to radically accept. For example, to reconcile accepting difficult people and situations without judgment, to reconcile accepting death and that all things will end someday, means taking stock and appreciating basic givens in life that we can acknowledge right now, in the here and now, today. The mind is in perpetual autopilot. It is our job to learn how to switch over to manual mode and self-manage our thoughts better. This process is not necessarily a destination or a goal either. It is simply a daily application, like brushing your teeth or tidying up your house. Zen master Lin Chi said, "The miracle is not to walk on water, but to walk on the earth." Correspondingly, the wonder of gratitude is to be gutsy enough to peacefully embrace the simple things we have every day here on earth and take notice of its many gifts. In this instance, as we participate in the X Games for the mind and we access extreme acceptance, we attempt to trust that gratitude can be a radical alternative to prior methods of coping. Again, this may seem outrageous for many people, but if you pull back and think about it, it's what separates us from the animal kingdom. We are not slaves of our impulses. We are not prisoners of our urges. We can actually stop and pull back and think about what we're about to say, what we're about to do, and how much attention and value we're going to give to our thoughts in the moment. The following exercise compels us to avert our focus from negative and irrational thoughts to more sensible and grounded thoughts. This exercise is called cultivating gratitude. So what I'd like you to do is write down 3 things you are grateful for in your life today. Complete this exercise every morning for 1 month. If you plan to do it each month and put a little pad of paper next to your bed on a night table, you will remember to do it. Note, you must be very specific about why you are grateful for each one you choose. And although some repetition is okay, try to cultivate new ones each morning when you do the exercise. For example, you might be specific about acknowledging someone important in your life. I am grateful for my friend Jane because she is a good listener. She treats me with love and respect and is there for me whenever I need her. Or you might acknowledge yourself. I am grateful that I have persevered this long despite everything I have been through. Remember, if we wake up in the morning and stop to identify positive things in our lives, big or small, our minds will begin the day processing the world differently. Again, try this for 1 month. See what happens. Thank you for tuning in to our podcast. I hope it has been helpful. I'm John Silimparis, MFT.